So I think we have about, I think 4 or 5 planets retrograde right now. Mercury's about to go retrograde. Venus is retrograde. We're in the midst of an eclipse portal. And it's the summer solstice 2020. And you would never know because everything is so calm on planet Earth right now. You would never know that anything could even be out of the ordinary, right? Extraordinary time that we're in. So the inspiration for this time, this chanting, I don't even know what to call it anymore, but just meeting, Sangha, and sharing the practice of chanting. I was chanting about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, as part of, just my own daily practice, and just feeling the power of it, feeling, what happens in me when I'm chanting, and realizing that that's been an anchor for me for a long time, just to go into the vibration, to go into the sound current, to come home to my own heart, my spirit. And then I got a really strong inspiration to share that during this time. I had a little while back, maybe a month and a half ago, I had a really strong download for a global peace meditation. And I won't go into the details, but some really kind of clear details of how to do it and bring people in. But I haven't had the time. It just takes incredible time and bandwidth to organize those things. And I've just been needing to tend, things in my own life and health and, journey. But I realized that there's these possibilities that are constantly presenting themselves from the universe. Really just the possibility of each moment, the possibility of this time that we're in. And even though it's a very challenging time that we're in many ways, it brings up difficulties and challenges, not unlike regular life, but heightened in a way and not normal in a way, because we're not in our, what we perceive as the normal flow of reality or time. But it's also created a shift in our perception. It's created a space and pause in some ways. And this is such a powerful week within, the midst of the bigger unfolding that's happening. And the solar eclipse, the new moon, right on the solstice, pretty much. It's not exact with the solstice, but it's right within 24 hours, is ushering in a whole new cycle. So if you're not familiar with the eclipses, they're solar eclipse always on the new moon, and it activates a new moon a lot. It's like a new moon, maybe times 10. In Vedic astrology, they look at eclipses as a little slightly more ominous, in that it's, you have to be a lot more careful because the energies are a lot more unstable. Tropical astrology, not quite as much, but they're just different ways of looking at what's happening. I've been talking lately in yoga, sharing a lot about just understanding the nature of transformation itself, whether it's just in our own life personally or collectively. There's instability that is inherent in transformation. To go from one state of energy to another, from one state of being or one reality to another, things have to be unstable to move. That's why fire represents the energy of transformation, the sacred fire. Whatever goes into the fire is transformed. So living in a transformational time is learning to live with instability. It's learning how to, we could use the metaphor of learning how to dance in the fire. And if you've been following the path of yoga, that's not a distant metaphor. Right? The beauty of the Nataraj, the Shiva dancing inside the fire of creation, the Kala Chakra, the creative fire, the divine fire, which is constantly creating and transforming. And one way, that you can look at the three main aspects of creation. So Brahma and Saraswati, who we're going to chant to, represent the creative fire. That and of course there are many creative mythologies within the yoga tradition. There are different sources, but a general idea is that Brahma and Saraswati are from the lotus of creation. They are the ones sitting on that lotus creating the worlds, the divine feminine and masculine. All the divines have a feminine and masculine polarity, just like we do within them. So Brahma and Saraswati as the creative divine. Lakshmi and Vishnu as the sustaining. I'm getting electricity in my skin right now. Lakshmi and Vishnu as the energies that are responsible to maintain and sustain creation. And then Shiva and Shakti as the force of transformation that's inherent in every moment. Because in every moment, part of us is dying. Every moment, part of us is being created. Every moment, part of us is being sustained. The idea that life is fixed and more static is a perception, and certainly maybe on certain levels it is. But really, the power of creation, the miracle of creation, is that even this body is trillions of molecules vibrating at the speed of light right now. It's quite amazing. If you just go and watch a river, right? How that you could really see how that river is just constantly in a state of flow. We're like that. Humans have, much to our detriment, have learned to live in a very small bubble of reality, calling that reality as life. This little part of the material world. And we're really focusing on surviving much of the time. It may not seem like, we're dealing with saber-toothed tigers and, having to go out every day to find food for our family, for ourselves, our tribe, but we're still doing that in many ways. The saber-toothed tiger is the assault of stress in different forms. It is, we're still needing to nourish this body, needing to feel safe, be in safe places, right? So we're still dealing with life in many of the same ways that our ancestors were. It's just that in the outer appearance, things have become more sophisticated, more sanitized and packaged in a way that makes us think reality is set. But it's not. And we're living in a time where those agreements that we've made, everything's in a way up for renewal. How are we living in relation to our own spirit, to our relationship with the Creator, with Mother Nature, with each other as a family? And what is the direction of our world? Where are we going? Who are we? We've forgotten. And so each day we try to remember. And that's really what our practice is. It's that attempt, that intention to reconnect to that essential part of ourselves, to remember who we are and why we're here in this one precious life that we have. that we maybe repeat over and over. Reincarnation. So, chanting has an inherent power in it because we are all vibratory beings in a vibratory universe, and actualizing that power of conscious sound and intention. Pull up my own little manual here. So what I wanted to do for this time is really just, share the practice of chanting together. I'm not going to go into lots of explanations, but I'll do some. And some of it, maybe all of it you're familiar with, maybe some of it, maybe none of it, but there will be a place for everybody. And it's not about getting everything. It's not about pronouncing it perfectly, singing perfectly. It's just your own personal practice of chanting. That's really a powerful thing to have, to just be able to center ourselves in a moment, to center the mind, center the heart, center the emotion, to pray, to meditate. So, without further ado, so in meditation, I picked, they just came through 10 themes, and there'll be a few bonuses because I couldn't fit it all into 10 days. But just to focus on, give us a way to focus on a certain theme each day. And that, may take you other places. It may guide you, as you open up your own, intuitive wisdom field, other things may come in. So just really with that intention. Okay. So one of the themes, and something to really utilize during this time, is something we call sankalpa. So many of you are familiar with that, and sankalpa means intention, the resolve that is made both in the mind and the heart. So we'll begin in a moment as we go into the chanting with just making an intention for yourself, for the planet at this time. Sankalpa, 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 Shakti is often used with it. Shakti is power or energy. It's the energy that we harness or free up through really focusing our mind and heart on something, our spirit, our being, right? We have many levels of energy, and often those levels are fragmented. They're disconnected. Yoga means connection, right? It means union. So we have that power of our will, the power of our intention to really focus our energy toward a certain direction. So we use that in yoga, whether we do asana, we do chanting, meditation. We can also use it, if you just wanted to really be present with something you're doing, like, making a meal for someone. I've been really, through my life, really learning and enjoying the art of cooking for others, and just as a meditation, like really being present with chopping the vegetables, making a prayer for the food, getting the ingredients, things like that. Like anything we do can become this beautiful meditation when we're present with it. And so learning, just how to do that more and more in our life, how to be at peace with what we're doing, not to be resisting it or fighting it. When you have to clean your house or wanting to clean the house, being inspired to, right? Shaucha is cleanliness. To really, okay, I need to clean my house, and let me make it a beautiful celebration, a ritual. Put on maybe some Lakshmi mantras in the house, or some beautiful music. Light a candle. This is my temple. And to set aside a certain time to make it a joyous experience. There's a lot. This is the idea of seva, that we make the things that we need to do in life, the tasks of life, to make them joyous where we can, make them sweet and a celebration. Our yoga practice, our work, our, you get the idea. So, sankalpa, intention, developing personal practice. I personally have found that there are many ways to do things. Some teachers will say you must do this way, only this way, otherwise it's wrong. I've seen too much for me to feel that that's true in my own experience. But there are corrections, and there are ways to align things more and more in a powerful way. So with the practice of chanting, I have found that the energy that you free up by being sincere, by really offering your heart, by really trying and being, using the heart, has a transformative power beyond, perhaps beyond logic, but it is even more important than pronouncing perfectly the mantras, or did I do 107 or did I actually do 108, or some more technical things. Those can always get better. We should always work at improving the technical part, but doing it just out of love, doing it doing it with your whole self as much as possible, has great power in it. And most likely during this time there's something very, an issue, a challenge, an aspect of life that is presenting itself to you right now, maybe more than one. It can be a little overwhelming sometimes, especially with all this, what's going on with the planets and on the planet right now. So when you experience a state of overwhelm, know that that's kind of like, it's like one way to describe it is like our energy field gets too open, too many things come in at the same time. It's destabilizing. So as quickly as possible and as much as you can, just find that quiet place. Find a place in your meditation spot, under a tree in your garden, or wherever it is in your car, to just knowing that you need to anchor yourself. Everything will be there. It's, whatever's open is open. But to just get back to the root, to center yourself in the chaos, or in the intensity, or in life. Life is not always, doesn't feel like chaos, right? Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's smooth. These are the different things we're observing. And then within that experience, as you begin to just center yourself, you come back to the root. You come back to the present moment, which is why we begin with Ganesh, and why Ganesh is so important in just as an energetic understanding the root of the tree of life. Get here now. Be here now. Don't worry about everything all at once. Don't try to take it on all at once. Get really present back to yourself. The root of the tree of life is the doorway to the sacred channel up through the tree of life to the heart and to the cosmic consciousness. Each chakra represents a level of consciousness, from the physical, mundane. We could also say the physical is not always mundane, but this physical world all the way to the infinite, Sahasrara, the infinite consciousness. You know, it could get pretty exciting here on planet Earth, because we are actually, I mean, you could say it already is, but meaning that we have this evolutionary capacity to really not only wake up, but to create and thrive in this time. A lot of what is creating the suffering and the craziness, the pain, is the misuse of energy, the ignorance around who we really are and why we're really here and what's really going on, the misuse of Shakti. Shakti is the divine power. People are, the governments, leaders, all of us on some level are interested in power, the power of life. It's been misused for greed, another energy that distorts, separation. So people using the resources of the world, using the power of the world to create more suffering, to create more misuse of the resources that have been allocated to all beings. Imagine, this world that we can create together. And so we have to correct ourselves. There are, of course, things that we can do in the world, in our activism, in our care, in our attempt to do, to heal the world. But we have to always begin with us. We're in a time right now where the traumas are really coming up. We're seeing I just learned this week that science, and I posted this yesterday, but there's been experiments done where we found that we can measure genetic memories going back 14 generations. That means traumas past 14 generations. It also means other traits and positive things as well. But we're dealing with the past right now in this body, in our experience. We are, as we heal ourselves, we're healing the past, the generational effects of our ancestors. DNA are like codes of light. They're active also into those of us with children, or not even, or maybe you'll have children, but you're also always connected to your children. You're connected to 14 generations forward and back. It's incredible. So the healing that we're attempting to do, to really heal ourselves, to come back into wholeness and into alignment, it's big. And it's so important that we never forget that we must do this inner work. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has all the answers. We are human. We are evolving. And good Lord and good Mother, humility is so important. It's like the level of pressure to not make a mistake, the level of shaming and blaming and attacking that is happening. Because we're afraid, we're traumatized, we are hurting. we make ourselves really vulnerable and raw by opening ourselves up. And it sensitizes us not only to ourselves, but to our family, to what's happening. Okay, so today, the root of the tree of life. Gana Isha. Gana, the multitudes, the many, the tribes. Isha is Lord, or the Spirit. The Spirit that is in all of the tribes, is in the many. Ganapati, Vakratunda, Ekadanta. Ganesh has many, many names that represent his qualities and his, her, debatable. Right? Just how you maybe can connect with Ganesha, the intersection of the human, divine, and nature all in one being. The child of Father and Mother Nature. The remover of obstacles, very important. Ganesh is called the remover of obstacles. That force within and without grace, that inner will, alignment that helps us to move through the challenges and obstacles in life. The place of new beginnings. Solar eclipse, new moon. But each moment, each breath, a new beginning, a new energy. Remember, we keep repeating the past, especially when we're unconscious, because it's stored in our vibrational memories. We keep thinking the same thoughts. We keep doing the same actions. Right? In the 12-step work, it said that the definition of insanity is to keep repeating the same actions and expect a different result. So even just little shifts that we can make in how we use our energy can create different ripples, different pathways. And really coming into the present moment. And we're also going to do the Bhumi Gayatri. Many of you know that mantra. It's one that I do regularly. Prayer to Mother Earth. It's really an asking. I meditate. May we meditate, contemplate on she who is the Mother Earth. She who gives all, nourishes all, provides all. She's the living energy of Shakti, the embodiment of Lakshmi, the embodiment of the sacred feminine principle. May we learn to live in abundance. May she teach us. May we be open to those teachings. May we live in peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And the three Shantis, Shanti, peace within me, Shanti, peace within nature, Shanti, peace within the divine. So all the realms, physical, astral, causal. Okay. So 108 times the significance of 108 has really many levels of significance, but the most important ones are that there's a sacred geometry in the relationship between the sun, the moon, and the earth. And I'll be honest with you, so many things I can remember and so many things I forget. And even though I've learned this so many times over the years, I think maybe I'm dyslexic in my consciousness on this, but it's either the distance from the earth to the sun, sorry, let's start with the moon. It's from the earth to the moon times 108. So the circumference of the earth times 108 is the distance from the earth to the moon, or the circumference of the moon times 108 is the distance from the moon to the earth. So in some way it's a multiple of 108, and then it's the same with the sun. And I'm sure you could Google it. If somebody wants to do that, you could type it in. I always just misplace it in my brain. But it's a relationship of 108 from the earth to the sun and to the moon. And it's a cosmic ratio, essentially, that shows up. It's also, from one yogi I learned that around the spiritual heart, the hridaya, there are 108 subtle nerve pathways that go to every part of our being and to the universe. So when we chant 108, it's a way of accessing that sacred number. It's also a lot. So repetition is good, and it helps us to remember, and to actually tap into that power of repetition. I have a little mala here. This is 27 beads. It's a quarter mala. It actually has a 28th bead, which is the bottom, the guru bead. And if you have 108 beads, you actually have 109 because you have the little guru bead on the bottom. So the way that you do it is, traditionally you try not to use the index finger. You use the thumb and then that first knuckle of the index, and you want to feel it. You kind of roll it, and so each one gets the energy of that chant. Let's say it's Ganesh, right? So Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, and the next one, and you go around, and you go all the way around until you get to the guru bead, but you don't go across it or count it. So if you were doing more, you'd turn around. So the way you can remember it is, don't cross the guru, right? Don't cross the guru. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but you would just turn around and go back. But if you're just doing 108, it means that you got to the end. You could hold the guru bead, or usually that's the point. You've done 108, and you just pause and feel the mantra silently. That's one way to do it. And you've reached the end. Mantra Shakti is the power generated through the mantra. So when you've completed you've been chanting, there's an energy that's built up. That energy is really palpable, and you feel it. Like often, even this morning, I got up this morning and was doing chanting. Just pausing and really feeling the energy of the mantra. So what I like to say is that there are three main levels of mantra. One is out loud chanting, which has a lot of power. I was reading this week that when we say something out loud, like any of our thoughts, for instance, or a word, an affirmation, something happens in the brain that makes it even 10 times more powerful than thinking it. Now, I don't know if that's always true, but there is something very powerful to speaking our prayers, our affirmations, bringing them into the physical. The second is the thinking, repeating the mantra silently, doing internal japa, like thinking Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. That also has a lot of power, and yogically maybe that has even more power because it's connecting you to subtle realms of consciousness that modern science doesn't necessarily recognize. So when you're mentally chanting a mantra, let's say you're on a train, or you're somewhere in a room with people and you can't chant out loud, but you just start mentally chanting and it really focuses your energy. That has a great power to it. The third level of the mantra is when you're not actively chanting or thinking the mantra, but the energy of the mantra is there. That's often what happens. You can really feel that in kirtan. You're really expressing and chanting and moving and breathing, and then the chant stops and there's this incredibly palpable energetic field that's there. Kirtan mantra is a meditation, right? All of this that we're doing, it's like the idea of just trying to sit and quiet the mind. I mean, of course I'm oversimplifying, but it's very difficult to bring the mind often into that one-pointedness. And especially if you're just trying to stop the mind from thinking, which it's so used to doing. Mantra meditation is, instead of trying to force the mind somewhere, just redirecting it. Plugging it into positive energy, plugging it into the energy of these mantras, these mantrams. And there are infinite mantras, infinite sounds and vibrations in the cosmos. Okay, how are we doing? Thank you, Bonnie. So Bonnie posted there. And somebody else did too. Z. Great. Yeah, it's like, how did they ever figure that out? Back then. It's really an amazing thing. Okay. So we're going to chant the Gayatri Mantra. So the mantras, there's certain mantras that I want to just do every day, like probably 3 times. Gayatri Mantra, Trayambakam Mantra, Mritunjaya, and Loka Samastaa. Those we'll try to do every day, just like 3 times. And then we also will have one featured mantra every day that we'll do 108 times. The short ones you do 108 times. It's pretty short. It's like 5 to 10 minutes usually, somewhere in there, depending on how you go and how you do them. Intention, prayer. So think of it as like a synergistic process of really just centering yourself in what's happening. Okay. I think I've covered all the main points that I wanted to cover. Okay, so okay, here we go. So we'll do it that way. We're just gonna chant Gayatri, Mritunjaya, Loka Samastaa. And then we're going to go into the Ganesha Mantra 108 times. And then we're going to chant the Bhumi Mantra. Actually, let's do it this way. I want to do Ganesh last, so we'll do Gayatri, Trayambakam, and the Bhumi Gayatri, and then Loka Samastaa, and you just follow along, and then Ganesha 108 times. Then we'll have a little time for meditation, and then we'll just talk about a little energetic practice today. Okay. So let's just begin with rubbing the hands together And think of this as a way to just kind of gather your energy up. Let's take a couple deep breaths. Inhale nose, exhale mouth. Bring the hands into the heart. And as I just kind of, what I do is I'll just share some stream of consciousness prayers, often ones that I do. And you can change those as you need to, add to them, just intuitively make it work for you. So connecting at the heart, thumbs into the breastbone, head bows toward the heart, the confluence point within the heart, everything meeting. The universe resides within you. You are an aspect of the One, the Divine. Great Spirit, Great Mother, source of infinite love, ocean of wisdom. You who live in the hearts and cells of all. I invoke you in this moment to connect back to my inner source. I offer this practice as a prayer for peace for myself and all beings, as a prayer of love for myself and all beings. In my own way, I open to my inner guidance, to my guides and teachers, to the divine Shakti, divine spirit that pervades all of creation. Please inspire my mind and my heart. Heal my tongue. Heal my words. Heal my body. Heal my thoughts. Help me to inspire my action in this world to create more love, more peace, more healing. And if you have a specific intention, just bring that into your mind, into your heart. Hear the prayer in our hearts. Help us to become clear. And I want you to imagine yourself just moving in a positive direction in your life, moving with grace. Breathing into the heart. Spirit is breath, breath is spirit. And then please visualize the sun, the source of vitality, radiance, and strength. Om Bhur Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. And you can please feel free just to chant it in your own rhythm, if there's some other way that you've learned it. We're just chanting together, so just allow yourself to go in that way. And also if you're learning it, just take it more in vibrationally in the beginning. Om Bhur Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhur Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Take a breath. beautiful radiance and clarity of the sun, the solar energy. Inspire my mind and my heart. And then Mritunjaya is for grace, for healing, healing pain, healing suffering. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Swaha. As we're chanting, feel it, imagine it strengthening your body, your nerves, your mind. And Bhumi Gayatri, connect your essence, your heart, to the heart of Mother Gaia, Pachamama. Your loving prayer for her, to be in service with her, to her. Gratitude for all that you receive. Om Vasundaraya Vidmahe Bhutadatraya Dhimahi Tanno Bhumi Prachodayat. Om Vasundaraya Vidmahe Bhutadatraya Dhimahi Tanno Bhumi Prachodayat. Om Vasundaraya Vidmahe Bhutadatraya Dhimahi Tanno Bhumi Prachodayat. Receive our love. Thank you, Mother. Thank you for all you give to us every day. Food, shelter, beauty. You are our home, our sacred home. Please teach us, guide us, keep us safe. Help us remember your laws and your wisdom. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. And let's chant Loka Samastaa. May all beings be happy and peaceful. May all beings be happy and free. May I contribute to that state of being. Loka Samastaa Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samastaa Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samastaa Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti 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 Shanti. Shalom Salam Amen. Harihi Om. And this one you can just listen to. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jestarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspatana Srunvan Nuti Visida Sadhanam. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Harihi Om. Please try and hold your focus, your presence. And we're going to go into chanting now to Ganesha, Ganapati, 108 times. And I invite you to hold the feeling of high energy, strength, and moving through challenges right now. Any difficulties that are there in your life or situations, feel them resolving for the highest good for all concerned. Feel the power of the divine coming into these difficult places, into every cell in your body, into your life. And creating a positive momentum. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Chant with me. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 It's halfway. Take a breath. Just feel old layers clearing out. Okay, here we go. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Please keep meditating just on that mantra, on the vibration. Father, Mother of the Cosmos, source of all radiance and vibration, you who live in the hearts of all, you who are every atom of creation, you who live within this body, you who live in all of creation. Inspire our minds and our hearts. Help us to heal, to remember, to awaken. Bless the hearts of the leaders, the minds of the leaders. Bless the minds and hearts of all beings to remember their true nature as love. Please visualize, imagine Mother Earth surrounded in light. Great Mother, we love you. Om Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirkamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. This is also in the first section. Lead me from the unreal to the truth, from darkness to light, death to immortality. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Mother of life, Mother of peace, Mother of compassion, Mother of our hearts, we pray to you for love and compassion. You who live in our hearts as unconditional love. And then just open your mind and your heart to abundance, the divine abundance that is given to all creation as the principle of sustaining. Just to receive in your own life all you need right now to thrive on all levels. Money, resources, food, shelter, wisdom, all the things showing up in your life to bless your life, guide your life. I open myself to divine abundance. I am worthy to receive divine abundance. I am so grateful for this abundance. I bless and prosper my life and the lives of others. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namah. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namah. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namah. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So please fold the hands and just really taking this energy into your day today. Namaste. Any time in the day, maybe just have a little pause to chant or to just repeat the mantra in your mind a little bit. It's like an energy field, and the more that we chant, it strengthens that vibration. I will be posting, so if you don't make the live sessions for some reason in the morning, I have to go through a little process to convert these videos and upload them, so it takes me a little while, but I promise to get them up as quick as I can, always. And if you need something, reach out. We don't have a Facebook group for this specifically, but there is the Soul Sangha. So if you're part of that, or if you want to join that, you can, and you can share things in there, certainly. So I hope you have a wonderful day today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this morning. And the peak of the energy right now is like the 24 hours right around the solstice and the eclipse. And if we can get as many people praying and chanting and meditating as possible in that window, I think it'll be great. I think it'll be wonderful. So remember always there's two realities right now. There's the one of fear, and then there's the one of love and light. And anyway, I'm so grateful to you all, and have a beautiful day. Namaste. Let's do, if you're still there and you want to do the community wave, we just wave to everybody, send everybody some vibes this morning. Family vibes. Zaire, I see you, brother. Aloha, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much. And so many things we can't fit everything in every session, but we all know as we get connected to our hearts where our prayers need to go. And it's kind of automatic, right? Because your heart is connected to so many places and people and the situations that are happening. But let's remember these beautiful words. Vasudhaiva, say it with me, Vasudhaiva Kutambakam. Vasudhaiva Kutambakam. The world is one family. And it means not just humans, but the world, the whole creation is the family of the divine. And we're seeing right now the healing that needs to happen for our family. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking open. It's time to wake up. And we all can do something. And, I feel overwhelmed a lot. I feel a lot like you. And the only place that ever makes sense is to just come back to love, to come back to the heart, to come back to these prayers. Abraham Lincoln said something really powerful. I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't remember it exactly, but it was that we should not claim that God is on our side, but we should attempt to be on the side of God. I know there's so much in our world, self-righteousness. What do we really know? And so if we can make every attempt just to make ourselves a vessel for the divine creative Shakti, love, the creative inspiration, peace to flow through us, it really, that's the power that we can really create something in this world. We're all vessels, in the Veda, last thing. In the Vedas it says, there is no doer. God alone, divine alone, is the doer. Right? We are vessels of the One. We're a part of the One. And we're at our best when we just let it flow. And we feel so alive, so connected when we just allow life to flow through us. If you imagine, put your hands out for a moment. Just imagine you're like holding this river. Put your hands in the river and you can feel this incredible river of energy, just like literally an actual river, right? And you have this beautiful river and you can hold the whole river. Wow. Like I can be this whole river, I can feel the flow. And the moment I want to possess it, now grab it and take it. How much river do you have? Right? So creation like that, it's like a breeze, it's like a river. It's flowing through us all the time. But the moment we try to take it in a selfish way, we block it. Yeah. So I will type Vasu Daiva Kutam. There you go. Any other questions? Okay. So have a blessed day today, family. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow morning.